So, many people wonder, how does exactly one make rock music inside a computer? If you already know my music, you might be aware that everything I do is inside a program. So I make rock music, rock influenced music with no recordings. I don't record myself playing guitar. I don't record myself playing the drums. And how exactly does I do it? I'm just gonna show you general guidelines for that. I'm not gonna teach you how to use, this software. This is Reaper. But I'm gonna show you the general workflow so you might have a better idea how to approach this. Well, first things first, how is rock made? You will need drums, you need guitars, and you need bass. Now, how exactly does one add virtual instruments to a software like this? There are some protocols. First, there's the VST, which is a widespread protocol, a widespread format of plugins, external plugins, which are like small software in themselves. So many virtual instruments are in that format. There are also sound fonts, which, how exactly I describe this? They're pretty much descriptions on how to play samples. So, for example, if you have a flute sound font, it will have some flute samples and some script to tell a dedicated program, which is usually AVSC, how to play these flute notes when the user inserts notes. And there is also contact patches, which are pretty much glorified sound fonts. They are in a proprietary format, uh, in this case, contact. And the biggest, the most expensive and professional virtual instruments are in the contact format, usually. Well, I do not use contact, I only use VSTs and sound fonts. So let's start with the bass, which is the most simple in my workflow. This one is a VST. It is a bass, as you can see, and when you play notes, bass notes come out, which is amazing. If you think about it, you now have a bass inside your program. Well, now this one is free. Is a free version of their commercial software. But even being limited, it's already good enough for most purposes, and surely for mine. Now, whoops. Now let's add the drums. Now, one interesting thing about drums is that they have multiple sources. You have the snare, you have the hats, you have the cymbals, you have the kicks, and so on. So many of these drum VSTs, they are multi-outputs. That means that you can separate the outputs, you can separate the snares and so on separately so that you can process them in an independent manner. I will not do that here. You know, I'm just gonna play it. But as you can already see, uh, Reaper created automatically these channels, so routing becomes much easier when I actually need to. In my actual projects, I do that so that I so that mixing is a bit more a bit easier. And finally, let's add the guitar. Now, my guitar is a sound font, and this is Fortando. Fortando is a sound font player. It is a VST, and it opens SFZ files. SFZ files are a format of sound fonts, and my guitar is one of them. Now, this one is a sound font version of the TOK Yamaha Pacifica, which is a contact patch. Unfortunately, I don't think this sound font version is available anymore on the internet, but yeah, a good thing I got it before it was gone. Now, there are other virtual guitar sound fonts which are decent, but this one, in my opinion, is the best one. It has round robin, it has palm mutes, it has stereo, and anything I would want, almost anything. Now, one thing you might notice is that you cannot make hard rock sound with these quickly clean notes, but thankfully they are clean because now you can add your own amp simulator. You can shape the distorted sound in any way you want. So now let's add the amp simulator. And this is one of them. Now let's try playing again. Much better. Now you have a distorted sound, but you might be wondering, why does this sound like ass? Well, the reason is it is not getting, the the aspects of the sound you get from when the sound comes out of actual amplifier, because the amplifier has a cabinet, so the sound reverberates inside that, and then that reverberated sound comes out to your ears. So you will need some way to also simulate that aspect of the sound, that reverb. And we have convolution reverb, which I won't explain, but it basically take audio files recorded from real spaces and simulate what would it sound if it had that reverb. So let's add a recorded sound from inside an actual cabinet. Here it is. It's loaded. Now let's try playing again. A bit too high. Much better. So now you already have everything set up. Now let's add some notes, because all these all this software, it reacts to MIDI notes. MIDI is a protocol, yada yada. I don't have the time to explain that. Someone might be able to explain better than me. But now I will fast forward and show you what I've got. And this is the result. Very rough, but it is actual rock inside your software. So, there are many things that I didn't explain. For example, um, how do I make my lead guitars um, use vibrato? So I didn't explain that. Also, I only use one guitar. I could use two, you know, one rhythm and one lead guitar. Or I could even use three, because if Periphery can get away with that, why can't I? But there are things for maybe another video, or you can figure out these things yourself. You're a human being with a brain. But these are the basics, and if you want to start making virtual rock, this is a good starting place. Now, I will also leave a link to the description to a video that helped me immensely with getting guitars to sound right. I didn't know anything about processing guitars, that amp and cab simulation thing, before watching that video. So uh, I'll just give that to you because I think it's really worth it. Well, this is all for now. Goodbye, until next time.